One of the things I love about Montclair is that we've got people from all over the world. In my experience, there's no better way to get to know someone than eating the food that brings them home. So let's cook up special dishes with the people that make up the fabric of our campus.
Cooking with Koppell, intro, Gina, take one.
Hello, my name is Jin-A Choi. I am an assistant professor of advertising at Montclair State. And today I'm going to show President Koppell how to cook Bulgogi Bibimbap. I chose to prepare this meal with him because it's simple to prepare. You can make it 100 different ways with different proteins, veggies, sauce, rice options to make it vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free, etc. It's also the representative dish for South Korea. If you come to Korea or ask to be introduced to Korean food, most will point you to Korean barbecue or bibimbap. I can't wait to taste how this turns out.
Welcome to another episode of Cooking with Koppell. Today our guest chef is Jin-A Choi, a professor of advertising in our School of Communications and Media. And what are we going to be cooking today, Gina?
We're going to be making the most searched recipe of the year in 2023 on Google, which is bibimbap.
I'm salivating just looking at the ingredients. It's like the classic dish of Korean food. And I also liked the way you worked in your expertise on social media by saying it's the most searched dish of 2023. So we'll get into that as well. So awesome. How do we get started?
So we're going to cook the veggies,
Okay.
the meat. This is vegetable oil.
Okay.
So we'll get started.
People hear bibimbap. What does bibimbap mean?
Bibimbap directly translates to mixed rice.
Mixed rice.
Mixed rice, typically you take whatever leftovers you have in the fridge and then you mix it together in a bowl with rice and there you have it. So I was thinking about the equivalent of an American bibimbap and I would have to call it like a chipotle. So,
That's pretty funny, right? That's the American equivalent is chipotle, but okay.
Yeah, it's mixed veggies with a protein of your choice and rice.
This is by what you just described is a standard way that I cook. It's what's in the refrigerator and then figure something out with that.
We could have these things or none of these ingredients.
Exactly.
It's just whatever is in the fridge and you toss it. So let's take some onions and stir fry them. And remember, these are little toppings on your rice, so you don't need that much, just as much as you'd like. So everything's very customizable.
So obviously we're making Korean food. You're from Korea, or what's your connection to the food we're eating?
Yes, so I'm Korean, from South Korea.
Right.
And I was an international student here. And I studied at the University of Texas at Austin, so I spent a large portion of my time in Texas.
Okay.
I'm Korean, but I also consider myself part Texan and Longhorn. And they say once a Longhorn, always a Longhorn.
Horns,
You bleed orange.
there you go. We'll move on to the next vegetable after we get the onions aside.
Yeah, can we put it
Yeah, we'll
here?
use this as our holding bin.
So we're going to go from light to dark, since the carrot's going to give off some juice. I think we can go to squash.
Okay, squash next. So let's hop around a little bit because you dropped your most searched food item thing. So let's talk a little bit about what you do here, because that directly lines up, I know, with your expertise. So why do you know what the most searched food item is of 2023?
Well, so I am the director of data analytics for the Joetta Di Bella and Fred C. Sarr III Center for Strategic Communication.
One of our longest center names on campus.
The longest center names. And at the center, we have a team of faculty and students where we look at social media data to gain insight on the most currently trending topics.
Right.
And so we look at sentiment. Are people angry, upset, or delighted or happy around a certain thing that's going on at the time?
Right.
And we've looked at many different topical issues, such as Gen Z voting. So our inaugural study was the pumpkin spice.
The pumpkin spice latte study, right.
That garnered a lot of attention, and we were trying to gauge how much engagement and impression we got with our posts. And I think we want to say it's well above 500,000.
Right.
We've been interviewed, quoted on AP News, USA Today, Market Watch, and all of these different cool media outlets. So I think I'm done with my.
I put a little pepper in mine, by the way. I hope you don't disapprove, or that
No, it's
Mama Choi doesn't disapprove.
It's looking great. So now we're going to be at our final veggie, which is the carrots.
So how did it come to be that you are an expert in social media and using data analytics to understand social media? How did that get to be your thing?
So my original research interest was in celebrity endorsements. And
Okay.
so for my master's thesis, I looked at the cross comparison of Korean endorsers and American endorsers.
Okay.
But then for my dissertation, a little phenomenon called the influencers had come up.
Okay.
And so before, we knew them as influencers. We're like, are they social media celebrities? Who are these people? And do
Right.
they have endorsement power? And so I was curious, and I said,
Whether it actually makes a difference whether somebody carries a coffee cup around that has a logo on it or something like that, right?
So before we used to rely on celebrities to kind of set the trend, but now these ordinary people were starting to carry stuff around, and people were listening to them. And what's different is that celebrity endorsements are usually, they're paid to do the endorsement. With influencers, it's different, right? They're kind of giving you the backstage view of their ordinary lives. And
Where it was different, right? But now
was.
influencers are exactly the same, right?
They are. So
Can you tell the difference between genuine word of mouth versus artificial? Because now, of course, there's all kinds of fake word of mouth,
Right.
fake reviews on Amazon,
they're bots.
right? Exactly, they're bots. Or even they're paid endorsements. So can we tell what the difference is? I think I can tell the difference between a real review and a paid
Right.
review, but maybe I don't know what I'm talking
So
about.
you think you can
Right,
until
exactly.
you go into, studying thousands of reviews.
Right.
And my students are like, no, I really can't tell. And
Yeah.
I ask them to watch videos of influencers where they talk about different products.
Right.
And unless they explicitly disclose that something was, paid for, or it's in partnership or sponsored by, they
Yeah.
can't tell.
Yeah.
And that's still the beauty of influencer sponsorships. This is bulgogi, which is marinated beef. It's marinated in soy sauce, garlic, an array of different spices. But it mostly tastes sweet, like a sweet
Right.
barbecue.
I think I'm ready to
All right,
ship the meat off.
so we'll
put that in our meat bowl.
for it to cool off a little bit.
So you missed this. This has got to be home now on some level, right?
Yeah, it feels like home away from home for sure. I've spent a long time. Part of my decision to come to the Northeast area is the presence of a large Korean community. And as you know, Fort Lee, Palisades Park, and if you go over to New York, there's Koreatown.
Right.
And a ton of H Mart, where you can get kimchi, where you can get marinated bulgogi.
Okay.
All right.
What's next?
So we're gonna cook one egg.
One egg.
Any way you like it, but I
Okay.
do like the yolk to be a little softer. So
Okay.
when you mix it, it gets the yolk into the rice
Okay.
as well as the veggies.
So I worked one summer when I was in college as an assistant chef, and I was really good. I could do one-handed egg cracking
What?
in
Oh,
both
that's
hands
good.
simultaneously. I was really good. I can't do that anymore.
Wow, well that looks really good.
I want the camera to show my beautiful egg.
That is a beautiful egg.
Look at my beautiful
Oh
egg.
no.
Gina's egg is.
Oh no. Then we're just gonna dig in with our hands
Okay.
and marinate the spinach. And so actually this is a really important step. We call it 손맛,
Yeah.
which directly translates to hand taste. So there's something about mixing foods with your hands.
I agree with that.
Yeah. So since we have gloves on already, we'll
Yeah.
go on with the spinach first.
Okay.
And the challenge is
Yeah.
who makes a prettier bibimbap,
Oh.
right? Remember, it has to be visually appealing. Oh, this is looking really great. Oh wow, look at yours.
It's coming. It's coming on.
And then you'll put your sunny side up egg
on the top of the meat. Okay.
All right, let's see if you can get it off.
I can, no problem.
Nice. So sesame oil, we've used sesame oil, but we're going to use sesame seeds.
Okay.
And my mom told me that you have to crack these sesame oils. So like, give it a good hard rub, so that
crack the seeds while we're
yes.
Okay, that's
So that
oh, I feel okay. Mom's right. I feel it. Feel them cracking if you get it right.
to bring out all of that flavor.
Yeah, no doubt. I am very enthusiastic about eating this, so let's go sit down and eat this delicious food. This looks super, super tasty, so I'm very excited to dig in. But I know there's a protocol involved, right? There's a process, so I will not jump the gun. What do we need to do?
So before we mix the veggies and the rice and the meat together, we're going to spice it up.
Okay.
So do you like spicy?
I like spicy.
All right, so we're going to mix a bit of gochujang, which is red pepper paste.
Yum.
And typically I just
Gochujang.
like gochujang.
Gochujang.
Perfect. And it's really as much or as little as you like.
Yeah, I like a lot. But we'll be ready. We can add more as we go along. I know
And
that's part of the
then
deal.
we'll put sesame oil a bit so that it mixes well.
Yeah. Okay, and what about the kimchi in the middle?
So the kimchi, so typically we have maybe 3 to 4 side dishes for every meal,
Right.
every
I know,
time.
big on side dishes.
Right. So, but because we have bibimbap, we have a lot of veggies, proteins here.
Right.
We have a simple side dish of kimchi.
Right.
But we also
We
have
have some seaweed,
kim.
keem.
So we call this kim.
Okay.
And so we'll eat it by wrapping the mixed rice into the kim.
Oh, okay.
All right, so let's get a bit of everything in here.
Okay.
A little bit of egg, a little bit of bulgogi,
Yeah.
veggies, and then bon appetit with your spoon. With your spoon.
Oh, with my spoon.
Yeah. So we never eat rice with chopsticks.
Really?
No, we don't.
That's a Korean thing? Because certainly in China they eat rice with chopsticks.
Right, for us, we eat with spoons.
I'd never heard that before. This is earth-shattering news for me. Okay. Yum. That is really good. So when you taste that, so does that take you a place? Like, are you immediately transported to a different spot or a different, like, what does that mean to you?
It brings me back home, for sure. And since this is my mom's recipe, it brings me back to like my childhood, the things that she would make for me.
So this isn't just like a food that you would have in a restaurant. Your mom would make this at home.
Right, I bet every Korean's made this at home with the
Yeah.
leftovers that they have
Yeah,
in
it's
the
good
fridge.
leftover food, right?
But it's also the representative dish of South Korea. So at any restaurant, you should be able to get this. And
Absolutely.
they have it in the hot stone pots. Have you heard of the hot
Sure.
stone pots? So it comes out like sizzling, and the edges of the rice get burnt a
That
little
little
bit.
crispy feeling,
You get
yeah.
a little crispy feeling. So now, with the kim, which is seaweed,
Okay.
you'll just use your hand and put a little bit in here. Let's take a bite.
It's better with your hands. I don't know why.
And then kimchi, if you would like a little bit.
All right, that I'm allowed to use my chopsticks. I don't want to
Yes.
get in trouble. I felt chastised now. I don't want to get in trouble.
So I brought this teapot that my mom gave me.
Okay.
And it's a bit magical. So see, you'll have,
Is it going to empty from? Oh, look at that.
that's why I wanted a clear cup.
How does so you were saying your family is mostly back in Korea. How do you translate everything that's going on in your life here in New Jersey? How do you tell them about it? Do they know what you do?
They
Does
do.
Does it make sense or is
They
it an
do.
abstraction?
And I love technology for this, right?
Right.
So we FaceTime all the time. And
Right.
technology is so advanced now that they can be looped in right now.
Yeah.
We use an app called KakaoTalk,
Yeah.
which is kind of like the,
Is that Korean WeChat?
yeah, like a WeChat.
Well, this has been great. I'm gonna keep eating because this is
Yes,
really
you
good.
should.
So fantastic. So a big 감사합니다 for everything.
Nice. nice.
Yeah, I know a little. I used to actually know a little. Oh, we didn't have any
we
tea,
didn't have
so we should
tea.
finish our meal with some
Yeah,
nice
We
tea.
should have some tea.
So, but a big thank you, because this has been a lot of fun and delicious.
Yay, thank you for having me.
Well, that's a wrap for this season of Cooking with Koppell. Thanks for watching. We're looking forward to bringing you more exciting episodes in the future.